Everybody, this is Jim Kurtz with Harvest Harmonics, and I apologize for being late to our broadcast today. It's been a crazy day, and I just got off the phone with an agronomist in Germany. We're looking to do some more university trials as part of our 1,000 university trial program we have launched in 2021. Of course, we're going to continue that for the next 5 to 10 years till that project is fully complete, and we have a big encyclopedia of proof that the cheminoxy technology really is the future of farming today. And in today's episode, because we don't have a tremendous amount of time, I wanted to kind of walk you through the mechanism of how the Kemenasi plant booster works. It seems like of all the things, of all the things, it's funny because when we first started launching this, we started getting some initial results. Nobody believed the results, right? Because it was kind of like, okay, nobody's going to get 20% or 30% or 50% increases in yield, and so nobody was believing our results back in early 2020, right? But as we started to prove ourselves and get more results, more results, more results, more results, more results, and it wasn't just one crop in one area. It was like, oh, we got peppers here, we got tomatoes over there, we got tree fruit over there, dragon fruit, citrus, nuts. I mean, we got all these different crops everywhere, and we just started loading up with field results and positive results all over the world. Then they no longer question our results, and now it's kind of coming back to, well, how does this product work again? So I wanted to kind of go over with you today just quickly how this technology works, so you can kind of understand um, the exact mechanism, because I think it is a little bit of a mind twist. It's a little bit of a different way of looking at it, and so it is a little bit of a challenge. Any type of truly innovative technology sometimes is a little hard to wrap your mind around at first. And so I wanted to kind of walk you through very quickly how this technology works. Now, before I get into an explanation of how this works, I want to kind of take you through a conceptual understanding of this. So the first concept you have to understand, and it's sometimes a little tricky, is to get a really good results, okay, to really affect and improve crop yields at a high level, let's say, or crop yields and crop quality at a high level, you can't just focus on one tiny little area. You have to look at the entire plant metabolism. We've looked at through research that has proven that basically plants are only actually absorbing 20 to maybe 30% of the inputs that you're putting in the soil in the first place. So if you're trying to boost crop yields by just adding more inputs, keep in mind that only 20 or 30% of that is actually being utilized by the plant. And the more you add, the lower that percentage goes, because the plants just don't have the opportunity. So if you really want to increase overall yield and growth and yield and quality, you have to look at the entire system of a plant's metabolism, right? It's kind of like you can't just eat 5 cheeseburgers and then expect your body to sort of all of a sudden have a ton of energy. Your body can't use all the energy from 5 cheeseburgers, right? It barely can use one if you're lucky. So the plant is the same way. So if you want to really increase your energy output, you have to look at how can we increase the efficiency of that system so that the plant is able to grow and utilize all the nutrients and water and other resources available to it at its maximum potential. When you can do that, you're going to dramatically increase the overall energy output of that plant. And that is going to, of course, translate into more fruits and vegetables, which is what we're looking for. So I want to show you just real quick how this technology works. And from there, I'm going to hopefully be able to take away some of the mystery of this technology. So the Kemenasi plant booster technology was first of all founded by a branch of science called biophysics, right? Biophysics is very simply the use of the laws of physics to influence and enhance biological function in living things. The inventor of this technology, Mr. Fulvio Baumelli, was a medical researcher in Como, Italy, and he's been studying human physiology for 30 years. So he'd already mapped out in the human beings how the different aspects of a human metabolism works. How does a heart How does the heart muscle work? How does it always beat at that right cadence? How do the cardiovascular system with the heart and lungs, how does that work? How does the liver work and operate efficiency? How does the kidneys operate? Does the spleen operate? How do all these different biological systems work together in harmony? Because if you think about it, when you're looking at a human being in a fairly complex type of physiology, there's a lot of different systems that go into making a human being and keeping a person alive. You have like oxygenation of the blood from the heart and lungs. You have the pumping of blood around the body to make sure that the cells in the body are working right. You have, the absorption of calories from food and the translation of those calories to energy that the cells can use, right? That's a human physiology. Mr. Baumeli realized long ago that the key to most human disease and dysfunction was actually poor nutrition in the body. In other words, we weren't taking in nutritious food, and the poor quality of food was actually translating into poor energy output for humans. So he actually started studying plant physiology 20 years ago in order to discover how do we increase nutrient density of food. And what he discovered was that all plants have a metabolism as well through photosynthesis, and plants are operating under a very consistent metabolism just like humans do. If all of the systems in a plant's physiology are aligned, then that plant is going to be healthy, it's going to grow strong, it's going to produce lots of fruits and vegetables, and it's going to produce high quality fruits and vegetables too. But if those systems are misaligned or are not in good sync with each other, that plant is going to lose a lot of its ability to generate energy. In fact, Mr. Baumelli actually studied hundreds of varieties of plants, and he discovered that across all those different plant types, that all those different plant types have a photosynthesis process that is very consistent and virtually the same from plant variety to plant variety. So when he looked at healthy, productive plants, he noticed that the biological systems in that plant all operate according to a very specific timing mechanism, and they're all very well timed and very well organized. And when that's the case, the plant will be healthy, strong, produce lots of flowers, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. But when those plants are stressed, whether it's heat stress or insect pressures or other problems, then that plant's metabolism gets out of whack. It actually gets corrupted and distorted. And when that happens, the plant stops generating energy, stops photosynthesis, and actually starts going into survival mode, right? So Mr. Bamelli discovered that if he can use a biofeedback loop, a very simple mechanism by which he takes the same frequency outputs of healthy productive plants and introduce it to stress plants, that he can actually bring stress plants back to a state of health and vigor. And as a result, those stress plants started producing more flowers, more fruits, more vegetables, and of course, better quality as well. So he then discovered that if he can take a farmer's irrigation system, that water is a very good carrier of radio wave signals. Oops. And if he can actually, whoops, I'm not getting it. So he programmed these microtransmitters with the 3,000 frequencies he had already discovered in his earlier research. And he discovered that if he can just attach these transmitters to the outside of a farmer's irrigation system, that the water running through the irrigation system will be a very good carrier of his radio wave signaling system. And the entire operating basis of our technology is based upon the use of what we call harmonics. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, harmonics is a branch of physics by which sound waves or frequency patterns are actually can realign and influence each other. If you've ever experienced music and used a tuning fork in music, you'll understand the idea of harmonics. You're actually retuning the musical instrument to its ideal frequency pattern, right? Here we're applying that same principle of physics to biological systems, as I mentioned earlier. So essentially what we're doing is retuning the plant's distorted metabolism, like you saw in the earlier slide here, the unstressed, distorted metabolism. We're realigning and reevaluating and reinforcing the ideal metabolism that you see here in the healthy plant. See, the healthy plant has a very nice, orderly, and well-timed system, and the unhealthy plant is all corrupted, and those different biological processes are not timed correctly. By using the laws of harmonics, we're able to recalibrate these waves back to their ideal state. So it's almost like we're reverse engineering, and we're reversing that flow from the output to input. If it sounds complicated to you, it is a little complex in how this works, but the simplicity of it is, for a farmer, all you have to do is water your plants. The water of your irrigation system will do all of the work for you because our system is going to continually reinforce the natural metabolism of plants. And all we do is attach this right to the outside of the pump or water source, like you see here, or we have a pre-made device that gets plumbed right into your irrigation line. And after that, you just set it and forget it. You literally just water your crops, and you're going to see amazing results and amazing differences in how your plants respond, especially during fluctuating weather conditions where that plant is just undergoing all these different stress factors and it's just not producing. If you have if you have a real world plant environment and you're out operating in a field, your plants are probably only producing 30 to 50% of the available energy that they could produce during the course of a season. So imagine if we can help you recoup 20, 30, 40% of that energy by enhancing and making that whole plant system very, very efficient at utilizing photosynthesis. And that's exactly what the chemonostic plant boosters does. It reinforces the natural ideal metabolism of a plant so that that plant can do what it's genetically programmed to do, which is grow faster, produce lots of flowers, produce lots of fruits and vegetables, and produce high quality fruits and vegetables as well. And when we do this, we're seeing amazing results around the world. So if you would like to see similar results on your farms, if you would like to see the next best technology for farming on your farm, and you don't want to wait 5 years, 10 years, 20 years for everybody else to already start using it, then give us a call at 727 324 6750. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to answer all of your questions. And of course, we would love you to help you become part of the future of farming today. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you again